Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Trevor, and this past weekend, Toy Story 4 hit theaters, and that means it's time for another Pixar ranking, where we're going to be ranking all 21 Pixar movies, including Toy Story 4. But before I give you guys my list, what I want you to do is go down in the comment section. Let me know which of these movies do you love, which of these movies do you hate, and which are right smack down in the middle. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, our lists are not gonna be nowhere similar. My list, you guys might be a little angry with what I got and where I got some movies placed, but that's gonna be the fun part about this. Let's just all respect each other's opinions, because there's 21 movies here. There's no way our 21 movies are all gonna line up, but whatever you guys got, make sure to comment that down below. And with all that said, let's begin with number 21. Coming in last place is going to be Brave, and I think a lot of people can really agree on this movie coming in last. It's just one of those movies that didn't seem to take a risk, and it's one of those movies that no one ever really talks about. After it came out, you're like, it's not bad, but it's okay. You know, it's not gonna be one I'm going to be talking about in the next 10 years or at all in the future. It's one of the movies that's kind of just there, and Pixar made it, and we liked it, but we didn't love it. And Brave is just one I don't really need to rewatch. I can toss it on once every couple years and be like, yep, that's right, I don't really enjoy this one that much. At number 20 is going to be Cars 2, and it tells us a story a little bit of Mater, and this is just one of those times where sequels aren't always good and sequels aren't always better, and that's exactly what this movie was. And that's what the category this movie fell in, that sequels just aren't as good as the original sometimes. Sometimes they are, but for this movie, it just wasn't. Lightning McQueen's racing in Italy, Mater's got more of a spotlight. Just a movie that didn't really work. The jokes that worked in the first movie, tried to put kind of a flair in that in this movie, and it didn't really work. The storyline itself seems a little bit sloppy, and it's just one of those movies you just don't really care about. There's no emotional tie to it. It's kind of a movie that seems just to be there, and it seems like Pixar kind of said, hey, we can make a couple $100 million. Why not? At number 19 is going to be A Bug's Life, where Pixar all began, and this is a really creative movie, but if you watch it now, the animation, the whole storyline, the jokes, it just doesn't hold up. It's made back in the 90s, it's now 2019, over 20-something years ago. This movie just doesn't hold up today. It's still a decent movie. It's still, when you watch, you're like, wow, this is really cute, this is fun, but that's all it will ever be. It's really cute and fun. It's never gonna have that emotional tie. It's never gonna have those jokes that really make you laugh your butt off. It's not gonna have those characters that you're so invested in, you want to see what they're gonna do in the future, and that's why I think this movie didn't get a sequel, because it had the lowest grossing total in the box office of any Pixar film, and it's just one of those movies that's kind of there that when you toss it on, you still have fun with it. At number 18 is A Good Dinosaur, and I actually watched this movie for the first time a couple months ago. And when I watched it, it's kind of dark, but it kind of reminded me of The Lion King. The little kid sees his dad die right before his eyes, has to go on an adventure, go some soul searching, meet some friends before he makes it back home a better, bigger person. And that's where this movie kind of just felt cliche. Like, we saw this in The Lion King, but The Lion King did it 10 times better. Now we see it in this movie, and it's just not that great. And the voice acting in this movie is not my favorite. It's just one of those stories that seems kind of cliche. That's why I think I semi-enjoy it, because I know where the story's gonna go. It's still fun to go around with a green dinosaur and a little caveman boy. It's kind of a fun, little silly movie. It's not the worst movie, but it's still not even close to being the best. At number 17 is going to be Finding Dory, and I know a lot of people love this movie, and this is the one that just kind of fell into the light category for me. Like, wow, this was cute. Wow, they had some really good added characters. It was really funny, had a lot more of that. But it's one of those movies that you seem, did this need to be made? Did we really need a Finding Dory? I mean, Finding Nemo was a classic. It's always going to be a classic. And this story is now Finding Dory. But we do get to find out some more of our favorite bluefish in the sea. You can see more of her background story. See where her short-term memory loss began. See her parents. You get to see some really great added characters. Bailey, the beluga whale, who does the ooh. He's really funny. This movie has a lot of work for it. I just didn't love it like a lot of people did. I felt like this was kind of, again, a cash grab, but it is a really good cash grab to say the least. At number 16 is going to be Inside Out, and it's one of those movies that I was so excited to see, because you get to see the little people going up in your head and how they act. I've always believed there's people running around my brain right now. They're moving my eyes. This guy's part of my emotions. This guy's part of my anger. This guy's part of my fear. I've always believed in something like that. I'm a little kid inside of me thinking, there's little people in my head. This movie started out strong and introduced all the characters, and you're like, wow, I'm invested. The way they take the story seems very predictable, but also not really fitting for a little kid movie, as sadness kind of takes over and all these different things. It just really took a turn left from right, being a happy, jolly movie, took a turn left, going on some soul searching, and I find this movie to be a little bit boring. Higher than the other movies, because I did enjoy certain aspects of this movie, but I really enjoy the creativity of this movie. This movie, how they made all these characters in your head, how the animation style looked, I really enjoyed that. And it's just the storyline itself didn't really do it for me like a lot of people did, but for me, it just didn't. But Pixar and their creative little people are always making something that's bigger and better, trying to at least. The movie has a really cool and really great idea, just not the best execution. At number 15 is going to be Cars 3, and this movie has the emotional kind of gut punch for you, and it has more of a different route it's going to take. You don't really know how the movie's going to end. When you get there at the end, you're like, well, I can see this. It's a good movie. It's fun to watch. It's really heartfelt. My girlfriend cried in the theater when we first saw it. You get to see back Lightning McQueen. He's back in the spotlight. You get to see him. He's kind of washed up. He's trying to train and get back better than ever, and all the different technology, all the technological advances are now outdated for him. It's a really cool, really creative idea, because the second one was an abomination, but the third one really took home the Cars franchise, and it was honestly a really solid film. At number 14 is going to be Coco, and I like certain aspects of this film. I love the color usage, the animation style is great, I love the storyline, and it's really a great movie. It makes you feel really good, gives you chills. It's just that Pixar movies aren't musicals. I like the music in this movie. I really do. That's not my big problem with it. It's just that they went against what they do. Pixar movies, no Pixar movie sings, and this movie is a musical. I like the music, but that part alone really bothered me. Like, Pixar movies aren't musicals. I like this movie. I really, really do. I listen to the music still. It's great. It's just it went kind of against what it's always never done, and now it's like, oh, we have a musical in our thing. It makes it good. It's a good animation style. It's a really sweet story. I just don't love it like I do some of these other films later on this list. People love this movie. Trust me, I know. Everyone's like, yep, we're watching Coco because it's the best. For me, it's not. It's still a good movie. I just don't think it's the absolute best. At number 13 is going to be WALL-E, and I know, you guys are like, WALL-E at 13, are you kidding me? People love this movie. It's interesting to me. It's different. It's a different kind of Pixar story, different kind of Pixar usage, and it's like, it's good. It's really interesting, but it's just something about it that doesn't give me the love and the hype factor that everyone else has. I don't know what it is exactly. I watched the movie 2 times, and I said, it's pretty good, it's interesting, it's different, but everyone's love for this movie, I just don't understand. I will never get it. No big problem with WALL-E. I just don't love it like everyone else does. At number 12 is going to be Cars, and this is just Pixar's creativity at its finest. Cars are talking now. All the NASCAR drivers who are high and mighty as Lightning McQueen was really gets humbled out and sent to a little town, and that's so cool to see someone who's like, I'm speed. I am speed, get humbled out, sent to a little country town, meet some friends, and actually get some more human attributes. And then by the end of the film, you really see his whole character arc has changed. Owen Wilson voices him beautifully, and going to Radiator Springs, seeing that entire town, getting introduced to Mater and Sally is great. And it gets Lightning McQueen back on his horse, back on his train. He got a little Rocky feel in there. He's got to go train back. He's got to go back and get his throne. It makes you feel good. This movie's funny. This movie's emotional, and it's really fun to get introduced to all these great characters. At number 11 is going to be Monsters University, and this is a time where Pixar sequels work, or sequel works in general. This worked for me. I love finding out how Mike Wazowski and Sully met, how Sully was this big scare and Mike Wazowski wanted to be the best, and how they got to where they are. I love that. The added characters in this is great. The frat game, so it makes it really have a good college vibe in there. The animation style is just great in this movie. But seeing the story, Mike Wazowski and Sully, how they didn't start off as friends, but then became best friends by the end of the film, that is so intriguing, so fun to me to watch. See how they all began. MU, Monsters University, I love the absolute heck out of this film. It's just so funny, it's so great, and the frat games itself are amazing. And by the time the end credits come, you just feel great. You leave with a smile on your face, and your heart feels good. At number 10 is going to be Toy Story 2, and how can you not love the Toy Story universe? This is another time where a sequel is almost perfect. This is a great movie itself, and seeing all these characters back on the big screen together was just so fun and so amazing to see. You get introduced to Jessie and Bullseye, and it's so great, and you have a battle with Zurg, and you have a mean doll who's the villain who doesn't want them to go off, and it's just a really good movie. You get to see all the characters back, you get introduced to Jessie, you get introduced to Bullseye, it's all great. But this movie doesn't completely do it for me, is it feels a little bit slow towards the middle of the film. When I go through memory lane for Jessie and Bullseye, and it feels a little bit slow in that part, but it picks up again at the end, but it's coming in at number 10 just for that middle part alone where it slows down a lot, and it seems to be the point where you fall asleep or you get a little bit bored in the movie, but other than that, it is an almost perfect sequel. At number 9 is going to be Toy Story 4, and this is a movie I gave a positive review to. I liked it. I really, really liked it, but I didn't love it like I wanted to. I really wanted the love factor here. You get amazing new characters such as Bunny and Ducky and Duke Kaboom, who will all make you laugh your butt off, and also, it's more of a Woody and Bo Peep story. See their relationship back, and after Toy Story 3, how they talked about they lost Bo, they put them back together, back in the spotlight together, and it's great to see. It gives you chills, and this movie has a really great emotional tie. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I like Toy Story 4, and at the end, the final lines they say, spoiler alert if you have not seen the movie, but it's Buzz Lightyear and Woody both say, to infinity and beyond, and that gives you chills down your spine. This movie is good. This movie is great. It just, for me, it didn't feel necessary because Toy Story 3 ended on such a great note. I thought this movie didn't really need to be made. It's a cash grab, but it's one of the best cash grabs I've ever seen, plain and simple. At number 8 is going to be Finding Nemo, and a little bit darker in the beginning of this movie because the mom gets killed, but it's a great movie. You get to see the relationship between son and dad, and it shows what a dad would do for his son. When his son gets lost, he will swim across the entire ocean, meet a crazy little fish along the way, meet some amazing friends, and see the world and get out of his little shell he's captured in. That's what Finding Nemo did beautifully. He shows someone who's so scared of the outside world that sometimes you gotta face your fears, you gotta go out there, you gotta take the job, especially when you put the kid on the line. It shows what a dad would do or a parent in general would do, and that's what makes Finding Nemo so great. It makes you feel so good, and one day when I'm a parent, I show my kids this movie, I will probably hit me a lot harder than it does now. At number 7 is going to be Monsters, Inc., the classic Monsters, Inc. If you watch now, the animation style looks a little bit older because it is, but this was the movie when I was growing up. Lee and Mike Wazowski have some amazing chemistry. You have Randall, who's just a terribly mean villain. You have a great storyline. You have some great characters, and the whole concept of your job is a scarer, and you work for Screams is just brilliant. To see all that, you're like, wow, because growing up, in the closet, that's where monsters hid. Under your bed, that's where monsters hid, and that's what they showed. Hey, little kids, there's monsters in your closet. They're coming for you. They're collecting your screams. It's just a really creative, really funny movie, and they have some of the most amazing and classic Pixar characters. At number 6 is going to be Toy Story, where it all began, and seeing these characters get to be together on a big screen for the first time ever is great. To see all of them meet and all their banter and how Woody is jealous of Buzz Lightyear because Buzz comes in and replaces Woody as a little brother would come in and replace kind of the older brother because the little brother needs more attention and all that things. This movie hits it on the head. This movie is emotional. This movie has it all. It makes you laugh, makes you cry, it makes you feel good, and it is very, very relatable. For being one of the oldest Pixar movies, it is still 100% one of the best, and seeing the banter between Woody and Buzz Lightyear, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks is just absolutely amazing. This movie has the chemistry, this movie has the villain, and this movie really has an amazing story. Breaking into our top 5 is going to be Ratatouille, and I love this movie. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of it, but it's one of my favorites. Seeing a rat grab someone's hair and move them around to cook is amazing. The creativity behind this movie is just everything. You get a rat who pulls people's hair. I'm gonna keep saying that, pull people's hair, because this is just crazy to see. And you have rats who end up cooking the whole deal at the end. And the setting of this movie is great. The visuals look amazing. The score and the soundtrack's even better. And Rami is such a character you can get behind, such a character you support, because you see where he's coming from. He just wants to cook. He just wants to eat good food. And what's wrong with that? Someone's different, you should still give him a shot. And that's what this movie really hits it on the head. Just because you're different doesn't mean you're not capable of amazing things. And for that reason alone, Ratatouille earns the number 5 spot. One of my favorite Pixar movies and one of my favorite animated movies of all time. At number 4 is going to be Incredibles 2, and I used to like this one more than the original Incredibles, but it slipped down a little bit as more and more I watched it. This is the movie where you can see Elastigirl get the spotlight. She gets to go out and kick some butt and take some names, and then Mr. Incredible has to stay home, and that's kind of how it was back in the day, that the wife would stay home and the dad would go out to work, and the wife would stay home with the kids. But now, the dad's staying home with the kids and the wife's going out to work, and then he has no idea what he's doing. He's like, what? Math? Math is math. You get Jack more of a spotlight, and all of our favorite characters, our favorite family is back on the big screen. After taking 14 years off, they finally got back on the big screen together. The movie has some hilarious writing, all-around good chemistry, all-around good banter, and a good villain. The reason this fell short of the first Incredibles for me is just because the Underminer, we've been waiting 14 years for, behold, the Underminer! And we didn't get him. But this movie did have a good villain transition and did have a good plot twist right at the end. I saw it coming, but most people didn't. Incredibles 2 is a fantastic sequel, a fantastic Pixar movie, and it's a fantastic movie in general. At number 3 is going to be Up, and this is probably one of the saddest movies ever. It is just so emotional. In the first 10 minutes alone, you're sitting there bawling your eyes out, and you have this old guy who's grumpy, who runs into a kid who makes him show that there is more to living, there is more to be happy about. You don't have to be a grumpy butt the rest of your life. And it's just great. The adventure you go on, the use of color in the movie is great. And the dogs you to talk, hi master, you are my friend and I love you. Oh please, be my prisoner. You have some amazing lines like that. You have a great villain. All around an amazing story, an amazing adventure between Mr. Fredricksen and Russell. And they get to meet a bird, Kevin. You get a dog named Doug. The dogs get to talk. It's great. I absolutely love this movie. And how it starts out and how it ends, both times, will almost make you cry. But the relationship between Mr. Fredricksen and Russell Crowe, their character arc together, is one of the best in the entire Pixar universe, and it is absolutely fun to see, and is absolutely a fantastic 100% amazing film. My runner-up is going to be The Incredibles, and getting to see and know this family for the first time was everything. We got to finally meet them. This is basically our first superhero movie where we get to see them have to live a normal life when they are capable of so many amazing things, but don't get to showcase that. And they are a family who is a normal family, who has banter, who doesn't always get along, and seems kind of upset with their life because they don't get to show who they really are. They're stuck living these jobs they don't want to do, and this movie really shows that if you are not happy doing something, you need to go and find out what it is makes you happy and do whatever it takes to make that your living, because that is what life is about. Being happy, being supportive, being a positive person, and doing something you hate is not worthwhile. Getting a little inspirational here, but The Incredibles really hits on the head. It's really relatable for a lot of parents and a lot of kids, and as a kid you want to have superpowers, you wanted your parents to be superheroes. It's a great movie to show how they are together as superheroes and how they are together as a family, and how the movie ends sets it up for a sequel that took 14 years to get, but The Incredibles is absolutely amazing, and I love the heck out of this film. Coming in first place is going to be Toy Story 3, and this alone, and the emotional tie alone really just takes it home for me. Getting to see all these characters, how Andy's grown up, and Andy grew up with everyone. He started off as a young kid, and you're a young kid playing with toys. Now he's going off to high school. Same time you would be going off to high school, and he doesn't need his toys anymore. And that's an emotional tie on someone's life. And you get to see that, you get to see what the characters go through, how he doesn't need them anymore, and he gets sent to daycare, and how this movie ends. Just that alone, when they're all about to go down in lava, you think your favorite toys, your favorite characters are all about to get killed, and they start holding hands. It's emotional. You start crying. And at the end of the movie, when all the toys get taken to a little girl named Bonnie's house, and Andy's kind of sad because he leaves his partner Woody behind, and he has to drive off to school, and Woody stands on the edge of the box and says, "So long, partner." That alone earns the #1 spot. And there's my Pixar list. Toy Story 3 is my absolute favorite. One I can watch anytime, 3 times a day, and I would never get tired of it. But how does your guys' list compare? I told you my list and your list 100% we're not going to agree. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go ahead and comment that down below. Do me a favor and go see a movie, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!